Gary, where are you joining me from? What is the location?
I'm in Vancouver right now, bro.
Okay, okay. So you're up in Vancouver for the weekend, but you're
Yeah,
going back to Vegas on Monday.
yeah. I'm finishing up my camp out there. Then I'm off to Thailand to Tiger Muay Thai to finish up there, and then off to Malaysia from there.
So how far out would you be flying to Tiger Muay Thai?
It'd be 1 week before the fight, or it'd be like two
Okay,
weeks before the fight.
okay. So I see that you've done that the last two fights or all your fights for one championship, and it seems like it's a good formula for you to go out there and acclimate yourself to the time zone. Is that important for you?
Yeah, for me, like I fought overseas a lot, like in the Middle East and stuff, and over in India and stuff. And I used to always go on the fight week. And the biggest thing is trying to get yourself to get going, trying to get over the jet lag. The jet lag whoops your ass. And this whole thing about going over to Tiger, going out there, there's some good, amazing people out there, and just kind of disconnecting from everything from home and stuff, and then just getting ready to go and just kind of finding peace with it. And I love the formula. It's worked for us the last two times at the biggest stage. And why not just keep it up?
All right. Well, your upcoming fight is going to be in Malaysia. Your last fight was in Malaysia. Did you expect to be going back to Malaysia?
No, I didn't. I was trying to go to a different location every time, bro. I was hoping to be on the Singapore card, but by the time we started talking, that card was already filled up. So I'm hoping to get on a Singapore card soon. But yeah, I guess I'm going back to Malaysia. But the Indian community, the Sikh community there, it's huge. I went to the temples, I went to the gurdwaras and stuff, and the energy felt like I was at home. And so many people recognized me there too, and that was astounding when I went to the temple. And so I'm hoping to go visit there again, and this time invite them all to the fight and fill up the stands. And yeah, so even though it was my first time going there, it like I know where to go now and stuff like that. So it's almost like I'm able to visualize it better because I've already been there once already.
You do you have a checklist of places in Asia that you would like to fight at? Because it seems like one championship's going to every location on the map.
Yeah, I know. So that's kind of how I'm traveling. I do want to I do want to fight at different places all the time, and they go all over Asia, right? So yeah, like I said, I was hoping to be on the Singapore card, but that's no problem. Going back to Malaysia is not an issue with me. Yeah, that's one of the coolest things about this, to fly over there and go see different parts of the world, meet different people, and just enjoy this journey, man. Like I really have to sit back and kind of enjoy this part. I have finally made it to the stage that I ever wanted to make it, to the biggest world stage and fighting the best guys. And now I gotta enjoy it. When you're on the local scene, you're always kind of a bit more hesitant because you don't want to get left out just a local scene. You wanna make it to these biggest stages. Now I'm just trying to enjoy it as much as I can, train with the best guys, being able to travel and train around guys I used to watch on TV and fight guys I used to watch on TV. So it's a cool ride.
Your first fight, your debut, you went in there, took out a former title challenger. A lot of people were very impressed with that performance. Your second fight, you took on kind of a, a up and coming guy, right? A newer guy to the roster, and he took you to the decision, man. Were you
Yeah,
surprised by how tough that guy was? Because a lot of
dude.
people expect you
Yeah.
to go in there and finish him early.
Yeah, you know what? Credit to him. He had one of the hardest the hardest heads I've hit, and when put on weight. And then I just watched his last fight, and he just dominated. He looked like a complete new fighter. Just dominated his opponent, took his bag, beat him to the ground. So that guy isn't somebody you sleep on either. So I got the job done. But him in the last fight that he just won, he put on amazing performance. So he's up there. He's up there.
Yeah, he's kind of like an up and coming dark horse that people
Yes.
might not think about right now, but maybe in the next year or two, he could be up there in the top 10 in that division.
Exactly. Yeah, for me, every single opponent that comes across the table to me, I take seriously. I think of them all as world champions, these monsters that are coming to take me out. I don't care who they are, what their record is, what they come from. He only had one loss at that point. And then Tony Toro was the former title challenger plus Cage Warrior champ. And now this next guy, also another former title challenger who took my mentor, uh, Adriano, to all 5 rounds. So it's at the end of the day, I really don't see anything different between all three of them.
Your upcoming fight against Reece McLaren. Before we get into that, you haven't fought since July. What have you been doing the whole time? Have you been training? Have you been in the gym grinding, or have you taken some time off, man? Enjoyed your life a little bit?
Always training, bro, but try to enjoy it too, right? Like, I have a family life, I have my wife and stuff like that. And like, I can't complete disconnect from that. But when it's fight camp, everything changes. And it's been fight camp and everything has changed. I get focused, I get zoned in. Everything, every single thing I do every single day goes towards that fight. And that's what's been taking place for a few weeks now. And will continue to do so. But I did take a little bit of a break. Me and my wife, we went to Italy, but when camp's on, she's in, I'm in, and everything is fully focused. And because I know what I'm representing all the Indian people. I got to perform, and the fights that I'm taking now, no Indian fighter is really taking at this level. And fighting the guys that I am, like Reece McLaren, he's the semifinalist from the Grand Prix. If he had won that, he would have fought for the Grand Prix title. Now that to be my third fight in the promotion, from all the way from just signing with them back in March to now December in 1 year, going to the semifinalists, we're just taking it as it is and preparing as we are.
Yeah, that's facts, man. Like you're spitting facts right there. You are as an Indian fighter fighting the best of the best, the cream of the crop, and I don't think no one's doing that right now. Going back to what you were saying about Reece McLaren, right? And he fought Bibiano. He went to the split decision with Bibiano. I think at that point when he did that, no one had even come close to even beating Bibiano. Have you talked to Bibiano about Reece and what he brings to the table?
Yeah, we spoke a little bit about it. The fight's online. It's like and it's pretty evident what Reece brings compared to all his fights. And yeah, you have to take a guy like this serious, and I have completely taken it serious because a quote that I've kind of stuck to during this training camp. I always kind of have a quote to my training camp. It's like work so hard that your idols become your rivals, and that's kind of what this is at this point. I actually, I'm not gonna say was. I am a fan of this guy. I have been watching him for years, and I've liked his style. I like that little whole mannerism he brings and stuff. But now that same guy's going to be staring at me across the cage, and now it just doesn't matter. At this point, I have a totally, completely different mindset towards him at this point. Once the fight's done, we can take it all back to normal. But right now, I got a mission. It's not just about me. It's about representing my people and the people that support me and all that. And I can't let some kind of fandom kind of take over that. I'm here to represent something, and it's not just about me. I'm just a guy in there.
Yeah, this is a fun matchup, man. Like the styles that you guys bring,
Yeah.
it meshes well into an exciting fight. He's a guy that's good on the ground, but he's willing to stand there and trade on the feet. Do you like that prospect of him kind of bringing that little flamboyant style, that little quick,
Yeah.
striking to you? Because it seems like you probably go in with a more of a power advantage.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. But there's a lot of puzzles that he's gonna have to solve with me that I've watched all his fight that the other guys haven't. Um, I know who I train with. I know how I train. I know that extra kind of different kind of stand up that I bring combined with my confidence on the ground too. They haven't seen my ground yet. No one's seen my ground. We haven't gone to the ground. We went for a quick 10 seconds with Tony Toru, and that's about the only thing they saw. I am a high ranked purple belt in jiu jitsu. I train for it every single day. I train my wrestling. I train my stand up, everything. So I try to be a full mixed martial artist. So I don't want them. I don't want anybody to think that this fight can't go to the ground and I can't dominate him on the ground either.
Reece, he's coming off two decision losses. His last fight was a split decision loss to Danny Kingad, who actually fought Demetrious Johnson in the finals of the Grand Prix. Have you dissected the fight at all? That last fight?
I watched it quickly. I more so saw Danny Kingad's mistakes, where he could have capitalized earlier. Reece fought a good, smart fight, In my opinion, I thought Reece won, but you know what? It's not. It's based on a whole fight. That's the difference over in one championship. The fight is based on a whole, not round by round. So I think that plays a factor. Um, yeah, it's one of those things where I quickly kind of look over the fights, but the more I watch them, the more I start catering to them. I'm gonna cater to myself and what I bring and what who I am and what I can visualize and bring to the cage. Because had I watched all that Tony Toro's fight, I probably wouldn't have fought the way I did. Had I watched all Abro's fight, I probably wouldn't have fought the way I did. I create these things in my own head the way that I wanted to go. I claim my space when I get in there, and I bring what I want to bring, the movie that I want to create, and that's the same thing that's going to happen this time. Yeah, so I let my coaches kind of look over that real quick. Other than that, I just know he's a game opponent. It's like weird. It's like the first time. I'm not gonna say it's the first time, but I'm more excited about this one because it has challenged me so much in training. Like it has literally challenged my mind, my body, the way I've trained, the way I've pursued it, the way I've thought about everything. I think because it is Reece McLaren, but at the end of the day, when he gets in there, I think it's all going to come together, and people are going to be like, he doesn't even look like the guy that he was last 2 fights ago. Looks like a brand new guy now because I will step up to the occasion. I understand that this is a semifinalist from the Grand Prix. I'm up there. I beat this guy. How do I not crack the top five? Right? I go from not even being ranked. I go up into the top five to end my year, and then who can they put in front of me? So I have to rise to those occasions. You have to prepare your mind for these things, and like I said, I would be the Indian fighter that is basically. I always said that I didn't want the Indian fighters to be just fighters on a roster. I want us to become the roster, and I have to lead the way in that fact.
Training camp. I know you're in Las Vegas doing your camp. Is it business as usual, or have you added any components to this camp that you did not have in previous camps?
Um, just training partners that can and make exactly what he does. Um, just very high pace of work. Um, just more mental training, more mindset, more visual, like just working nonstop, just everything from recovery to everything. I don't cut corners, man, because I'll tell you right now, my confidence only comes from preparation. That's the only way. When I make that walk, I know I've done absolutely everything. I've turned every stone there. There's nothing left to do but to go fight and watch this and watch how it all goes. And that's one thing that, like, when I signed these fights, like Mike Tyson used to always say, he's like, I was afraid that this man could beat me. I was afraid that this was a man. But the more and more I trained, the more confidence I gained. And when I walk out, I'm a god in front of the people. And that's exactly how I feel every time I walk out for a fight. When my music hits, I'm a god because I've worked my ass off. I haven't cut no corners. I work everything, and that's what it's going to be again.
The style that Reece brings to the fight, he takes a lot of risks. Do you see that as something that allows you to be able to finish the fight, a easier path to finish the fight?
No, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm not looking for those kind of risk things that he's doing. I'm gonna go in there, um, to do what I do, and I'm gonna see openings. I'm gonna see opening in the space. I'm gonna create pockets. I'm gonna do what I have to do. He can come with whatever. I gotta come with whatever. I don't. Like I said, I didn't watch too much after that. I know what kind of stuff he did with Bibiano, obviously, because I was part of that camp with Bibiano years ago. And I saw what he did with Danny, how he was setting up the takedowns, yeah, and how he fought Amakmatov and those guys. So I see where he gains confidence, I see where he loses confidence, and I know what to do. I got an amazing team that backs me, so I have full confidence in it.
Demetrious Johnson, he won the Grand Prix. I know you enjoyed that. And he'll probably most likely face Adriano Moraes in the beginning of 2020 for the title. What are your thoughts on that matchup? And do you have a certain prediction for that fight?
It's a very interesting fight, man. Because Demetrious is used to cutting to 125. Now the 125 cut no longer happens. So all his opponents are coming in bigger than I think what he's used to. And Adriano Moraes is a big flyweight, if we still want to call us flyweights. He's long, lanky, good jiu-jitsu. But I also think he hasn't faced somebody like Mighty Mouse either. Uh, yeah, it's going to be that whole reach against how well Adriano Moraes uses his reach. He's used it well, and he hasn't used it well in certain fights. Um, but yeah, it's I don't really have a prediction for that. I don't even know when that fight's happening yet. But I think DJ's just so well versed. He's just so well made, and that they always figure it out. Him and Matt always figure it out. They figured it out all through the UFC, and they'll figure it out all through one. So I never really go against that coach and student relationship that they have. So I'll say it's going to be Mighty Mouse at the end of the day. But I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. I don't. I think now the one championship fighters have kind of proven to a certain point that listen, they're not walkovers. Just because this isn't the UFC doesn't make one championship fighters any less. Like they bring a competitive edge. They bring something. I almost think the flyweight fights there are more exciting than the ones you see in the UFC. More action. They don't get tired, and it's preparing for these guys is wild too, man. So it's a whole different atmosphere over there.
With the new weight class or weight division and the hydration test, you had 2 fights already. Are you used to it now? Because some fighters that I've talked to, they it takes them a couple fights to get used to the hydration test, because just because you didn't drink water doesn't mean you're hydrated.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still kind of getting used to it, but I love the concept of it. Both times I've gotten sick after somehow. Yeah, and I don't think that has anything to do with the hydration test. It's just how it is for me over there. I like the whole concept. I really do. The 2 days thing, maybe not so much, but I do like the whole hydration test thing and how I feel healthier when I'm in there. I feel mentally more healthy, and I just like the whole concept. Like, if we're 150 and under, most of us would have been cutting down to 125 and just taking that whole factor out and making us fight at our usual walking weight and stuff. It's way better, and I love it.
Another Indian from Canada, Arjun Bulla, recently signed with one, got a big win in his first fight. Do you think that he should fight for the title automatically? Do you think he brings the credentials to be able to, okay, his next fight Brendan Vera? Why not? If you look at the heavyweight division, it could be possible.
Yeah, it is quite possible. It's only because the heavyweight division, like in Asia, I just don't think the heavyweight division is the most marketed thing. It's the bantamweight, flyweights, lightweights, like all the smaller weight classes. There
Yeah,
really isn't
stacked.
anything there. Yeah, it's like if it was over in the UFC, that wouldn't be happening. But over there, yeah, it's possible. I really don't even know any other heavyweight, and I don't follow the heavyweights whatsoever.
Yeah.
Uh, some of the middleweights, I guess, are heavyweights. I'm not too sure. It's just it's a weight class that I haven't really seen too much even on our cards. I haven't even seen too much on the one championship cards. I've seen maybe 2 heavyweight fights, and I think one of them was him over the past year. So I don't know how deep that division is. I know it's not very deep at all. So yeah, it's the road could lead a lot quicker.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a big 2020. I feel for you after this fight. You get a big win against Reece McLaren. Move forward. Who do you see in your path? Do you see Danny King yet? Do you see? It seems like if you do it right, you're gonna have to end up fighting Demetrious Johnson, and it's almost like you've
Bro, he's got to
kind
win the
of
belt first.
yeah, he's got to
Yeah,
win the
he's got
belt
to.
first, of course. But it seems like it could be possible, in 2020, and you training in Las Vegas now. Uh, it's possible. You're not. Do you guys still train together? Once in a while.
We haven't trained together in a little while, but we do speak. I actually spoke to him yesterday. So we do speak. Like we have a friendship, definitely. Um, and yeah, he wished me well for my next fight. I always wish him well for his fights, and that's it. Like for me, at the end of the day, I'm just taking fight by fight. I don't know what's and you got to remember that one's the one bringing me these offers. If they brought me Reece, they believe that I can crack the top 5, then they put the opportunity in front of me. I wasn't asking for it, so I'm ready to go. So I got to prepare for it. So whatever they bring in front of me, it is what it is, right? And yeah, 2020 is going to be a big year regardless, because um, just I'm ready to crack it. Like I'm ready to take one championship to India. Once I win this, I don't see why we wouldn't. You can set up any big fight against the top 5 guys. It's kind of crazy. Like, the guys that I was watching are literally the guys I'm crossing paths with now. But now is the time or ever, right? 2020 is a good year. It's one of those monumental kind of sounding years that I would love to make more history and stuff. It's a 2020 vision, And
Yeah.
yeah, and you got to keep seeing it like that. And just representing the people, man. I just love the crowds over there. I love the atmosphere of one. I just love all the people that work there. I think I said this last time with you that I was losing my love for fighting. I really was over here. And one kind of reignited it. And now I just feel more motivated than ever. And I put in the work like I've never put in before. I thought I was putting in work before. I wasn't. I wasn't even scratching the surface of what potential I truly could scratch on. And I put myself in uncomfortable zones every single day. I'm training with the best guys. I'm sparring with the best guys. There's guys coming to take my head off every single day. I'm literally living with constant anxiety because I don't know what the next session holds. And when you live in that kind of discomfort, when fight day comes, it becomes comfortable because you haven't felt relaxed. You haven't felt at ease for almost 6-7 weeks. And now you're just going into one more war where it counts for all. And it just becomes normal, where the chaos becomes normal to you. And that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah,
Almost institutionalized, I like to say.
yeah, the promotion has been signing a lot of the younger prospects, Indian prospects, and they got
Yeah.
you, and they got a couple other guys that are veterans that are gonna crack the top 5 and run for the title. It's exciting times, and maybe next year you'll be headlining a show in Mumbai or New Delhi.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? Who
Not
knows
bad
what's
from
gonna happen?
SFL to one championship. Not
Yeah.
bad from winning the reality show to now the biggest organization, all in about a year and a half span or so.
Yeah, man. You couldn't even,
Yeah.
that's movie shit right there.
Yeah, it is, man. We're still writing it every single time.
All right, man. December 12th, one championship mark for
December 6th.
greatness. Oh,
December 6th.
December 6th,
Yeah,
mark of
yeah, yeah.
greatness. Malaysia, thanks, Gary, man, always for the time, and good luck on the fight, and a big 2020, man.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you.